fall. But now you take my breath away. Suddenly you're in my life, part of everything. And now you got me working day and night, just trying to keep a hold on you. Here in your arms I found my paradise, my only chance for happiness. Welcome to the Joel Henderson Show. My name is Joel Henderson. With me for the first time in a while, but he's here, is Paul. What's going on, Paul?
Look.
The Steel City Storm, raging from YouTube video to YouTube video, abandoned building to abandoned nuclear site. Paul is, the Steel City Storm is all over the place, all across the planet, and you need to check him out on the YouTubes. Was that a better, podcaster sounding intro, Paul?
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't ever call you Storm.
It sounds weird for you to call me Storm anymore.
Oh, you know what? I should be professional here and have my AirPods in so people don't hear you through my side as well. I'm pretty sure I had those. Oh, in case you're wondering, it's a shambles. We're back. The Joel Henderson Show. It's just as good as it always was.
Are we live?
Yes, we're live. I think so. Check the YouTube stream. Check don'thaveit.com and make sure this is going out. This is that stuff.
Yeah, man.
Come on. Headphones?
Obviously people are gonna come in. We don't see nobody.
I hope it doesn't sound like shit. I'm really sorry if anybody's watching and it sounds like garbage. I'm gonna have to do a test here and check. I'm gonna mute myself for 1 second as soon as I get loaded up here.
I'm not even inside YouTube yet.
It'll be better going forward. I can't promise that. I don't know why I promised that just now. I can't promise it'll be better going forward.
I'm not even inside
Are we live here? Content. No, that's not it, Paul. What are you watching?
Hold on.
We're good.
I gotta mute the live stream.
Oh wait.
Which one do I mute?
Yeah, you have to turn it off.
We're good. I gotta mute the live stream.
I think we're okay.
Which one do I mute?
If we're not, we're not. We'll find out later. Turn off the streams.
Am I better?
Yes, no more streams.
Right.
You're fine.
I just muted YouTube.
I think we're all good. Oh, look at that. Somebody's watching now too.
Uh-oh.
It's probably Michelle, if I'm being honest.
Uh-oh.
She's out of state at the moment and probably missing me terribly, and therefore has to come check me out on the live stream. Or it's Sawyer. You know, who knows?
You can't blame her for that,
sometimes. No. So what's been going on, Paul? What's I feel like I haven't done an episode of the Joel Henderson Show in forever because that's not a thing. It was for 100 plus episodes, but it was never it was never anything in terms of a particular format or structure. It was just I felt the thing that I could provide rather than try to emulate what other people were doing was to just give people a sneak peek into conversations that I have with my friends, because usually they're pretty entertaining.
Right. And that's why you got
whether that's my fault or my friend's fault, I don't know. But I just threw my name on it, so I was culpable and nobody else was liable, so to speak, if it went horribly wrong. Fuck it, it's the Joel Henderson Show.
Well, if it goes wrong, you just say, "Well, I had Storm on there." That's how you have him on.
Yeah, it was. Oh, you're talking about the Storm episode. That one was.
Yeah, he's way better on.
We don't talk about that episode.
Well, we know what's going on.
What do people need? Well, whoa. We're doing a proper podcast here. Okay. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm the Steel City Storm.
Go on, tell people about you. In case they've not seen you before. Assume no prior knowledge, Paul.
Assume no prior knowledge of knowing who I am? Or what we do?
Yeah, the people on the channel assume they don't know who you are. So tell them who you are.
Okay, fair enough. I'm thinking it's on the Steel City Storm channel, everybody should know who I am. That watches, if you're on, this is your podcast. And I really don't do live streams and stuff like that. I do them. I used to do them, and then I kind of got away from it, but it's just not my jam. I think that going out and filming And back to your question, who am I? Um, I am a guy that was born in Gary, Indiana, raised, lived there till I was like 25. I never really moved that far outside of it. Lake Station, Hobart, Portage. Moved out of state a couple times, but my heart always, was in Gary, Indiana. Where's your camera? And I can't see your camera. Wait a minute,
Well,
do I
that's
need to put?
because I'm. Hey,
Yeah, leave
I'm
it like that.
working
I'm
the
comfortable like
control
that.
deck here. It was well,
I want to
it
see if
was
you're
a.
rolling
I'm
your
doing a.
eyeballs.
I'm not. I'm interviewing you. I
Okay,
want to hear what you got. We want people to know who you are before you start telling them what you do, and
okay.
that's all. I
Well,
was just. It
all right.
needed to be a solo shot. It's all you. Come on, man.
My real name is Paul. I refer to myself as the Steel City Storm. And
Why? Where did that come from?
where did the Steel City Storm come from? Um,
Yeah. What
I've
what
always
made
thought
you
that.
come to that name?
Um, I was
Like I
on a
get
different.
Steel City part is Gary, but how did it all slot together, Paul?
I was looking for a name. I knew I wanted it Steel City in it. And one day I was
Okay.
watching TV. And I heard the name. Something about a storm. And I went, man, that kind of fits me. Like this rumbling storm covered in skin. It's just there's an inner storm that wants to.
Sorry.
Right,
Did you
a
say a
storm.
rumbling storm covered in skin?
Yeah, man.
I
My kinetic.
oof, if that
It's
isn't the name of the episode.
it's my kinetic
Fuck
energy.
me. Rumbling storm covered in skin.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like my kinetic energy. You know.
Right.
I thought you'd dig that one. Anyway, I just thought Steel City was always, a cool name, and I
Well,
threw
yeah, you
Storm on top
liked
of
the
it.
Steel City. That's what they call Gary, right?
Yeah, and now when other than you guys, nobody else was doing anything as far as video and Gary and all that, and I wasn't
Well,
really that
people pop
interested.
in.
Huh?
People they pop in and out, but for the most part, we're residents here. In terms, I don't live in Gary. I'd never make that assertion. I live in Crown Point, Indiana. My parents grew up in Gary,
Right.
and
That's what you
but
should.
but 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 I consider it hometown still. It's close enough that if we're going to be out exploring, it's probably going to be in Gary because you don't have a better location to explore.
We never run out of spots.
I mean, okay, now this is exclusive stuff because we haven't mentioned this at all, but exploring Wallace during the teardown, you know, we went there the other day because we were looking for the last couple pieces of the sign,
Right?
the
Did you?
the the plastic Lou Wallace sign. That now let me back up one step here. I feel like I'm jumping ahead, but the I drove by there when they were doing um they were about to tear down the sign, and they were up there cutting out the logo, the crest, and I pulled up next to him and I'm like, "Hey, you guys going to save the sign or what's going on?" They're like, "Oh, don't worry, we're going to save everything. It's going to be saved." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I come back the next day, it's smashed. The whole pole is smashed, the sign is smashed. And I just observed from afar, and we're talking over the course of 2 months watching it. And I would fly my drone over and I'd see the little bits and pieces of it that were left, and consider that it's been driven over now many times and left there for months on end. And it was like, I'm saving that, and we're going to put it back together. It's missing 2 or 3 little pieces. All I got is the top part, the black part where it says Lew Wallace High School across, and it's in 5 pieces at the moment, but it goes back together well enough that I'm going to have my carpenter buddy help me. We're going to try to put it back together for my dad, who went to Lew Wallace, graduated in 68, and make a sign and put it up in the backyard by the baseball field. He's like, "I'll name it Lew Wallace Baseball Field." That, to me, that's a better use of it than it laying in the ground when the company that is running the destruction doesn't give 2 shits about the history of the school, and nor did anybody before that, because look at all the stuff that went down with the school, that went down inside it. You know what I mean? As they just smashed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a huge rant. I
No,
didn't mean
no,
to go rant there. We were talking
no. We're
about you,
talking.
weren't we?
I mean, I'm getting in the mode where we talked about this when we went on live stream. We're not trying to impress anybody. I don't care if nobody shows up the whole stream and we just talking and maybe they watch it later down
Right.
the line. That's fine.
Right.
I haven't told anybody I'm even going to be here. It's fine. I'm saying when I was thinking about when you were talking.
Are you here though, Paul?
Absolutely.
Are you even here?
Absolutely.
Are you?
I am.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Joe.
Continue. What you got?
When I hear you say that, like you're talking about the sign, how they said they're going to preserve everything. You see what happened. They didn't preserve it, obviously. It's kind of that's kind of the underlying, ongoing, forever thread. I feel that goes through Gary. They let a lot of when they take away from the kids, those kids eventually grow up to be adults, and those adults remember a lot of things that remind them of their childhood. And you want to see those things. It's like going back to your old high school and you see it and you see the old teachers. Well, the legacy of Gary, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people know it's true no matter what you say, is they've let pretty much like Steel Town Records, the Memorial Auditorium, the schools, especially Lou Wallace. Work's the next one on the list. It seems like, they just don't. They don't.
You think Wirt's going to be torn down next?
Absolutely. What are they going to do with it? They're not doing anything with it. And it's a beautiful school.
But
we've seen that
Wirt,
school.
not like Emerson? Not like Emerson?
It's gonna go so long when they finally try to do something. They're gonna, let me guess what they're gonna say. It'll cost $23 million. What happened to Roosevelt? Roosevelt is a historic school, and it means a lot of things to a lot of people. Even the
I'm
Jacksons.
not sure why that one. Like, there had to be something. I thought I heard something with the heating or cooling system was why they ended up. Whether it was a ridiculous. There was a ridiculous bill that it was generating or something, but I could be wrong on that. So I don't want to, I don't want to speak out of turn there. I just, they shut that one down for whatever reason. I mean, eventually we'll check that one out, but people tried to get in there and got caught pretty quickly.
Right. I feel like they try to divert your attention away from things. It's like, I don't know. I guess it's a double-edged sword because like Lou Wallace, let's use Lou Wallace. Back when they shut it down, there was only so many kids attending Lou Wallace. It was really not even half of what it was when I was there. I was there from 80 to 84. I also went to Bailey and I went to Franklin. And look at them. Franklin, the window's been open in Franklin. It's on 35th Avenue there. That window's been open forever. It's like nobody really gives a crap. And the Franklin sign, just like the Lou Wallace one, sitting right there in the yard. It's not up high where everybody can walk up and get it. They don't care. They just don't care. And then nobody says anything about it, and it sits there for 20 years. And they tear down everybody. Oh, my God, shaking my damn head. Oh, my God, this breaks my heart. But nobody does anything about it. Nobody says anything. Nobody's held accountable. All the people that made the backs off of our money off the backs of hard-working people like the teachers and,
This is getting a bit heavy, Paul. Can we keep it light and frothy, please?
Okay, I'll sugarcoat it. Nobody cares until it's too late.
Right.
And that's the whole legacy.
Well, okay. Here's my question to you then: Is it too late for Gary?
No, it'll never be the same.
What's your vision of the future of Gary? What do you think happens next there?
Well, the big sell, it seems to be a lot of trucking places. I think that now with the Amazon and things like that, that'd be a nice shot in the arm, I mean, look at Lou Wallace. Look what kind of building you can put where just Lou Wallace was. If they fenced it all off and then they started building and then they had security out there, that's a lot of property, and I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do with Gary, but it's like
I'd be okay with them leaving Wallace as just an empty field for a while. Like, I feel like it's too soon to start building something on there right away.
Yeah.
It's not a nice enough neighborhood to really warrant having something there instantly, but
No.
just my opinion. I'd rather see it sit for a bit and, just like leave that hole that it deserves to leave there.
Yeah.
Because first of all, for my own selfish purposes, I don't want it to look like the Star Plaza does 3 years later. Like, that's ridiculous that that's still fenced off. What is it fenced off for? It's a flat,
That's
it's
what
a
I'm
parking
saying.
lot.
That's what I'm
I want to
saying.
go there, and that's what I want to end the video at, for that one. I've never put it out yet, any of the explorers of the Star Plaza, because I wanted that one to be special, and I was waiting for the empty field shot.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now it's just an empty lot, and it never happened. Like, I'm standing where the Star Plaza used to be. I can't do it yet. And
Right.
I want that for Wallace very much. I really want that to be an empty lot that's beautiful and like returns to nature a little bit. And it's like, okay, you know what? Fine. It was here. It's gone. I hate it so much that it's gone. I really, really do. I was talking to Charlie yesterday. The Decay Devils posted a couple pictures, and I was like, "Where is that at?" Because that's clearly in Gary, and it was a place that was torn down in 2015. And I'm like, that sucks. And like, I'm mad at the people that tore it down. So I said, "Fucking cocks," And Charlie's like, "Well, it's not their fault. It's what we do." I'm like, "No, that's not what I meant." And be very clear, I hate that that's what we have to do. I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be posting pictures of Wallace after it's gone. I want it to be there,
Yeah.
but it is gone, and like, it's a tragedy. That was our exploring home, and for that to not be there anymore, like, I don't even know where to, like, that was default. If there was nothing else, let's swing by Wallace.
What the thing about Lou Wallace was also that I don't think you realize, but I remember, is when Lou Wallace was up and going, like when I was there, we were the shit. Lou Wallace was the shit. So was Roosevelt. We had awesome teachers. We had people in place to help, like the riffraff kids, or the kids that get in trouble. Instead of throwing them out of school, they put you in a troublemaker class. I was in it. Coach McDonald, he's a big, huge man, gentle giant, but you didn't mess with him. And he was allowed to give you swats. Let me tell you something. When they took swats away and spanking your kid, that's when everything went wrong. It is. You can't do nothing. These little brats now, they're just so disrespectful. And they,
You just want to whoop kids, huh, Paul?
No, let me tell you, Coach Mack take you out in the hallway and give you that swat, and you have to walk it back in, and everybody gets around school, man. They tore Paul's ass up. I got a few of them. I didn't do whatever it was I got swat for. I quit doing it. You didn't want that wrath, and that wasn't preventative. Now, these little kids walk around with their little man buns and their fingernails painted, and they're little tight, and they act like they're so tough. They never had a smack in their life, but I see it. I see it. It's a reoccurring thread. It's like us. Everybody I knew got swats and shit coming up. It's like when I hear the Michael Jackson story, like Joe Jackson used to beat the shit out of it. He's like, all dads did. You messed up. You got your ass whipped. That was that. And you didn't do it no more. Now, just look at it. What are you going to do to a kid? Turn the Wi-Fi off?
Well, you act like that's not an equal punishment anymore. Like, it really is. Taking away the ability to do what, like, my parents, I used to hate when it was like they'd get you something, like they got me a scooter for my 15th birthday. I loved it. I went and bought the equivalent of it in the modern day. I still have it. But it immediately became, okay, you did this wrong. You can't ride the scooter. And it was like, well, that sucks. You got me something, and now you're using it as to leverage me, and are using it to control me. And like, but that is how you do it. If your kid,
way, but...
like I'm telling you, and I'm being very candid here, my son is on the autism spectrum, and I whooped his butt one time, but he just sat there. Like it wasn't even happening, dude. It was infuriating. And then I realized, oh, I just have to say, you're grounded from electronics for a week. And then he was sobbing, and it was like, oh, you have to tailor the punishment to the child and to the person in general. You know what I mean?
What if this kid is not in that kind of, like it's not a schoolwork thing, it's a skipping school or stealing or fighting or
what does he do when he's home?
Well, it's different.
Does he like doing anything when he's home?
When I was at Lou Wallace, more than half of us drank on lunchtime. And the reason I
Just
think a
bored
lot of us
or
did it is we were slick about it, though. We didn't, you know, we didn't drink Wild Irish Rose, $4 to get 4 people drunk and get sick as a dog. But I'm
but
just
why
saying
were
that,
you drinking? Were you just drinking because you were badass kids, or were you drinking it because you were alcoholics in your
uh,
teenage years? Like, lay it on me. Why you think you were drinking at lunch?
well, in like 11th grade, that started because things started getting really dangerous, like gangs, and there are certain classes you didn't want to go to. And I don't know, after
So you
lunch, I'm
wanted
like, all right,
you wanted your senses to be dulled.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. You're like,
In
man, you know
case a
what?
scrap went down, I want to be at
Yeah,
my not best.
right. I gotta have a few drinks if we've had to deal with this shit. It was bad towards the end. I mean, when I was there, a lot of my friends growing up, they all started getting in gangs and getting in trouble, and a couple of them got killed, and going to jail. And I was like, man, this is scary shit. That was my biggest fear, is going to jail. I didn't want to do that. And then the gang thing started. Then the crack hit. We already talked on the interview, the Storm interview, the Lost Storm on the channel. I talked about
Yeah.
that. It's the same. It really happened. It's like, man, and you just seen it like it was peppered
Oh,
everywhere. Like a few friends here.
if we haven't been clear about this yet, go to youtube.com/Steel City Storm or the Steel City Storm.
The Steel City Storm.
The
The Steel City Storm.
YouTube, youtube.com/the Steel City Storm.
Just like that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was plugging your channel properly when I was telling people. Anyways, go there and watch his exploring videos. He's
You're in
got
it.
like how many you think you got on there about this time?
I think the other day is 950 something.
Okay.
But all fairness, that does include.
If he makes it to 1,000, he's going to reenact the movie Original Gangsters, scene by scene.
If we can't do a movie, I think we should go out there and do a couple cool videos, maybe an Oasis one or something. I have ideas. I'll talk to you later about that. But why not, man? Let's make one cool video. Just a cool video. Pick one cool song. I'll pick a song, you pick a song, and we just kind of reenact the video and make our own video up. We'll lift somebody else's shit, but no, you're not doing Miley Cyrus, Wrecking Ball, and all that. Talking something cool like, Do You Know What I Mean? You ever heard that song by Oasis?
What by Oasis?
Do You Know What I Mean? It's the name. It's a video. It's actually, you gotta look at it, man. You don't watch it, but anyway, I just think that it'd be something fun. I'm down to do anything fun, and like you always say, I'm just looking for content, something I think somebody would enjoy watching, and stuff like that. I love exploring all that.
I keep having these delusions that like eventually I'll be able to get back to my vlogging, and so I was like, you know what? I'll just because I don't film nearly as much as I used to. Okay, like a fifth of what I used to record.
Right.
So
right, I remember
just daily vlogging stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'll just grab like the first week of February. I'll just do a week. I bet you a week is going to end up being as long as a regular episode. So I just threw all the random footage in there, an hour, 47 minutes.
That's what I've been doing behind the scenes. I call it behind the scenes.
Like starting, but but then I'm 16 minutes into editing this thing with only good stuff in there. There's still an hour and 20 in the full timeline. I'm like, this isn't what's the point? Like, what is the point? Like, where I work at 27 now, 27 Entertainment. I work for them freelance, and one of the things they have is like, one of the questions they ask is, why are we making this video?
Right.
Like for any client video they do, like, what is the purpose of this video?
Right.
And like those were just to fill time, and like I don't need to do that, but like I miss the kid stuff. And like when there is something fun, I'm gonna put out a vlog of that. Like when we went and did the Amazing Man Expo. If you haven't seen that video, I'll post it in the chat. Check out my Man on the Street Amazing Men's Expo video.
Is John Teva in it?
There may be a Don Tiva experience, yeah.
I'm
Or,
a
I
Don
mean,
Tiva fan, man.
appearance.
You need to bring Don Tiva back, man. We should go out to an
What do
abandoned
you mean bring
place.
him back?
We should go around, sit in an abandoned place, and Don Tiva should come out there and interview all of us riffraffs. Just sitting around. What? Huh? Get my brother out there, and get Big T out there and stuff like that. That'd be
So
funny,
I mean,
man.
yeah, I like doing random stuff like that. So like on a day where I film something like that, something kind of cool, those are the days that I would like to do a vlog, like a behind the scenes of that stuff. I've been
Right.
having this weird thing. I've been having this weird thing lately about what, are you changing your angle?
I was looking at it.
Okay. I mean, it sounds amazing. Let me just mute you till you're done moving that around there. That's much better. Look at that. There he's getting there. Okay, so I've been having this thing lately where, like, it was my daughter's birthday the other day, and I felt compelled, not like, you know what would be cool? I should post a bunch of nice pictures of Lena on Facebook for her birthday.
Right.
But instead, I felt like it was like I had to. You know what I mean? Like I'm a bad person if I didn't. And like,
Well,
how stupid is that? For
'cause
somebody as
man.
extroverted and sharing as me, like to all of a sudden not only be annoyed that I have to, but like really not want to. And not just like I got something against Facebook or some shit. It's no like war against social media. I feel like I should try harder when I'm making things before putting them out nowadays. Like I want to really have.
That's the difference between us.
I don't know.
It's too much work, man. It turns into work, and then I kind of lose interest in it. I want to just.
Well, that's why I'm going to limit it.
Yeah, get the experience. I mean, when you're out there, there's nothing like it, man. I still love it. I still love you don't know what the hell we're walking into.
Well, I'm talking the difference between me day-to-day vlogging at home. Like that's the stuff that like I don't feel the need to do anymore. Like I still film stuff around here, but like unless something amazingly hilarious happens, I'm not bothering to edit it and put it out with any sort of urgency. If I have a really badass day, I might edit that as a vlog, but I don't feel like I owe it to the channel for those to just be populating every day just for the sake of it. Like there's so much stuff in there that it's a cool slice of my life, but it's not necessary content day to day. It gives me the opportunity to focus on like doing a Lost to Time episode and making it really badass and cinematic. You know what I mean? And doing that one a week or something like that, to where I can focus my creative energies on not just trying to play catch up with the vlog, but with making something interesting. Like I want to make cool shit. So, that's why I'm trying the podcast again, anything that might work.
Well, can you hear me? Is my voice, or do I need to talk louder?
Why do you not hear me? Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Talk for a minute and I'll pull up the live stream and make sure it sounds good.
Well, I'll sit closer. I mean,
well, no, just talk so I can.
Well, when I used to watch, when you used to put all that stuff out, I enjoyed watching it, and the reason I think that I enjoyed watching it so much was because I knew that it was like something you were doing for yourself, and you really didn't care how other people see it. And I thought that was kind of cool, man. Like, I wish I would have had my kids at that age where I could have captured a lot of stuff, because I probably done the same thing, and I wouldn't have really been concerned about who's watching it or views or any of that. It's just something that. Go pull up one of those old live streams, like when the kids were younger, and you're like, "Oh my god, that's cool, man." I mean,
no, those are great. They're amazing. Yeah. But
I used to love watching.
But trying to keep up with it and edit it every day it's not sustainable with having another job. And
I think it's a lot to do with you got more to do now. You got so much more to do than you did back then. And that's
why I try to keep filming it, but I know that like I'm not doing like I would every day I'd be doing like a couple time lapses or some slow-mo shots just for the sake of B-roll, and like I'm not necessarily doing that every day because I'm realizing what am I going to do with this footage? Nothing really. I can do it. I know I can. I'm capable.
I
Like,
think you should go do what I did.
like,
Just go through your footage. Go through your old
okay.
computer, start at the way beginning. Take, instead of it being 3-4 minutes long, just like chop a little piece and just throw it all together. And
Are you talking
just
about lost to time stuff?
both. I mean,
I'm not going back to, like, there's a certain date that I'm not going back before in my vlog, potentially ever again. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, I will always want to see the bits with the kids in it, but at a certain point, like, I had to draw a line there. And I guess my only regret is that I don't have more episodes after that than before it, because, like, everything is better now. But, like, with the way the pandemic worked out and the working from home thing, like, I don't ever want to go back to sitting at a desk for 40 hours a week simply because that's the standard. Like, if there's a reason for me to be there, I will sit my ass at that desk.
Right.
But if there's not a reason for me to be there, let me do the other things that I have to get done, and the work will still get done, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I'm so thankful for that. I'm like, that changed my life in the best way possible. And, like,
Yeah.
with everything with Michelle working out now, and like everything just literally slotted into place. We had a year and a half where, like, we couldn't do anything but focus on each other. And, like,
Yeah.
you know what that does for a relationship? You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes you grow closer. And, like,
We've
obviously we
been,
get sick of each other and blah, blah, blah. Like, we get on
and,
each other's nerves every once in a while, but
and you know what's
we
going
come
on in
to
each other's life.
conclusions with things. What's
Right.
that?
I said, me and you know what was going on the whole time in life. I mean, we always stay in touch, and we always talk and shit like that, just random stuff. And I'm with you on that. I think with me and Diane it was the same thing. And then we getting married. You know, it feels like, you know, my priorities shift a little bit, but my love for doing videos and going out exploring, that doesn't change. But what did change in my head was I have so many things going on. Sometimes I just feel like it's not that important because we don't really do it for the money. I mean, we do it because of the love of it. You know,
Oh, you're not doing it for, you're not, wait, wait, wait. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not doing it for the $8.36 a month?
I make more than $8.36 a month, but still, I look back at it and yeah, I'd do it all over again. I mean, if YouTube was free and all it was about putting out content, we used to do it.
Say hi,
There
Riv.
she is.
Hello.
Hi, River.
This is we're live on YouTube right now.
How
Say
you
hi.
doing?
You gotta talk into the mic if you're gonna say hi. Say hi to the internet. So, like, this is my daughter River. How old are you?
7.
You're gonna be 8 this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in a couple months. Yeah. What do you do nowadays? You're into gymnastics, right?
Yeah.
What can you do? Can you do cartwheels and
Yeah.
can you do front flips?
No.
No?
We're on trampoline.
On trampolines? Okay. What's going on in the life of River? Come on, tell Paul something. Tell us what's going on. What's going on this evening?
Do you remember,
relaxing?
River, do you remember me?
Yeah, I was watching Turning Red.
Oh, she's watching Turning Red. Your hair's turning red. Do you see in the camera? Do you remember Paul?
River. Hey, River.
Do you remember Paul? Yes, that's it.
Do you remember me?
No.
No. You drew me a picture when your dad he was at the art fair. And I've been over your house a couple times. It's been a while. You drew me a picture. I have a picture of it.
Well, back to the pandemic talk. That's how that came up. It became like this isolated thing where I haven't minded it at all. Like not having the parties. Like, we haven't had the Christmas party in 2 years, and as much as I miss that, I'm also totally fine. Like, and I've found more, like, inner peace, and I think that is what has led to me not vlogging as much. Is like, I'm fine. I'm content.
I would agree with that.
Like, I don't require the input I was getting from feedback on the vlog by posting all the time anymore. I don't require that to get through a day. I miss it sometimes. Like, Michelle misses it. She's like, man, I wish you were still vlogging. But, like, we were out doing more stuff then. And, like, if I'm ever out doing stuff, I'll be vlogging. If anything worth happening, worth capturing is there, you damn sure I'll still capture it.
Well, you always do. You're a true creator, man. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I do admire.
I am a documentor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even with the show going out and going to different places and playing music and stuff, you're out there documenting it, and it's an awesome thing, man. That's just how you're made, I mean, you like making content, and I never realized I was always, all about the explorers and all that, and then it got to be where we kind of started doing this thing where we'd all go out and we had a really good time, and then people come and go and this and that, and there's a few people that stick around, and met a lot of cool people doing what we do. Definitely, you know. And I just think what we do is a unique hobby. Some
I
people
mean,
go,
I've
"Oh,
made friends that I will probably have for the rest of my life through exploring.
absolutely,
Charlie Burgess. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't know that dude before I started exploring, and then he comments on something, and the next thing you know, two grown men are meeting at the library on a Saturday morning to
yeah,
do research together, and then he
yeah."
tells me his family history is British, and I'm like, Charlie Burgess, and then that
He
stuck
hates
forever,
it.
and he hates me for it.
Yeah, I see the one I got it behind the scenes. The one where we went out to the Majestic, and it has in the backseat. It's so hilarious. He's like, "Well, you guys get to call each other different names, and you got to keep calling my name." I was cracking up laughing, man.
Right, it's like, why you call him Storm and you call me Charlie Burgess every time.
The whole name. He's like, the whole name. It was hilarious. Yeah, Charlie's a
But
good dude, man. They're all a bunch of good
I mean,
good guys. There's a
I would
couple of them
not I would not have met you. I would not have met you had I not explored
or my
with
guy
Joan for a
T-Bone,
few years.
old T, man. He's a trip, man. That's my guy right there too.
Thank you. Had my assistant bring me some water.
Yeah, mine's sleeping.
Ivy, Echo, come on.
Dog's out. Go on.
Get out.
What are you drinking on?
Out. Go. Go. Echo, walk. Out the door.
Water.
Oh,
Diabetic thirst there. Sorry, we were pausing for in sponsorship of type 1 diabetes. It's the worst kind. We're number 1. Paul is number 2.
I'm number 2.
You're number 2. I'm number 1. I win again. Thank you.
Yeah, you did.
In our ever growing list of things we're competitive about, I am type 1 diabetic and Paul is type 2 diabetic. He came in second place, but
I tried.
he gave it a good effort, and you
I tried.
can't
I
fault
almost
him
hit
for
like over
trying.
6. I almost got into the 600 range. That's funny.
Uh-huh.
That is funny.
Is there anything you've been working on that you have on the computer that you're sitting at that you would be willing to show anybody on here?
No, I have everything on my laptop upstairs. I use this just for the studio part of it. I don't know. I'm more comfortable working on the laptop that I got upstairs, but we always got something going on.
Oh, I was
think
just thinking.
somewhere we ought to get into magnet
we'd
fishing.
show something.
Magnet fishing, and I want to start flying the drone a little bit more. I haven't been flying the drone a lot.
How about at all? How
And
about
metal
just flying it
detecting.
at all?
I say we go metal detect some of these old spots that they tore down. You got a metal detector? I know you do.
Wait.
Got it, huh?
Wait, no, I don't have one, but you want to metal detect where?
Different cool spots, man. We might find some good stuff. How about we start off with Lou Wallace? Walk around metal detect that place. I'm sure there's old coins and stuff out in the fields and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, it's just there's all kinds of metal from the buildings still.
Well, I wouldn't go over that spot. Yeah, that's you don't metal detect like that.
Oh, what's up, Frank Folder?
Frank Folder found us.
I don't. Who's Frank Folder? You know Frank
Frank
Folder?
Folder is a really cool lady. Frank is not Frank. Frank's her dog.
Okay.
She's all right with me saying that. I guess that's all I'm gonna say. But It's so
She
when I
fooled
say, hey,
Frank.
honey, don't say, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Wait, it's Frank. No, it's not. So,
Got it.
how you doing there? Yeah, we were sitting here just messing around, talking, and it's good to see you.
Paul's
It's
being
okay.
very weird towards the chat here. He looks like he's wooing. I know he's not wooing, but he's got
Don't
like
woo.
he's got this look. He's got this look on his face of woo.
Well, I tell you what, Frank always comments on all the stuff that I put out there, and I really appreciate it. That's really cool. I don't want to give too much information.
We have a one person who comments on our How to Watch TV chats. It's Jay Whackers in the chat every
Jay
time.
Whacker?
Just one person. That's just the username.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm going to start my. I keep telling everybody I'm going to start doing live streams, but man, just been so busy at work and just the weekends. Like I went to my mom's this afternoon and I was soaking that hot tub for like an hour. Oh my God, I'm so relaxed. I can do the warm check out.
I've always pitched these things being therapy. Like my podcast before and the vlog for years. You know, that might also be what it was. The vlog was a lot of therapy. Like I could just by saying some stuff out loud, you hear yourself say it and you go, that's really stupid. Or, oh, no, that kind of makes sense. And now that I've said it out loud, I'm good on whatever the topic was. So, like, that's kind of what I'm hoping to use this for. It's non-editing vlogging. You know what I mean? Where, like, it just happens and it's a little time capsule, but it doesn't require all the effort of documenting my everyday.
That's why I could never do what you do. I've always told you that.
I know it could be entertaining. Like I know I can make it entertaining every single day forever, but I can't keep up with the if that was the only thing I was doing, absolutely. Like I could focus super hard on that and make badass, you know, what would we want? 10, 20-minute episodes a day? Like I don't know what everybody would want. But you know, if it were a thing that people gave a shit about, I'd be sure, why not? But so for now, I still film, but not as inspired as I used to be.
I think that there was a bigger. You had more time on your hands, and you had a bigger void to fill, and now you don't have so much time on your hands, and you got that that void filled. I mean, like if you're like me, you know, a lot of our extra time instead of going on like live streams or it's usually spend time with the kids or spend time with the wife or figuring out something else to do or just relaxing. It's like I had a rough week and like I told you, I went to my mom's a couple hours ago. Who's that? Jay Whackers. Hi, Jay Whackers.
See, there you go.
Yeah, I just mentioned your name. That's cool.
Yeah, like
I
mention her name and she shows up in the comment section.
Well, we didn't even tell anybody about this. I figured they found it. That's
no, it's a surprise. It's just this is how it works. Look, I am an impulsive person in the sense that when I get a bug up my butt about doing something in particular, I'm just like, yeah, let's
tell
do
me
that.
about it.
Let's just go for it. Yeah,
I know.
I mean, that's how it is with certain spots, certain exploring spots. It's like, no, we're going to this. Like, I'm going no matter what. I'll go by myself. I don't give a shit. Like, you guys can all not go.
Or everybody wants to get together and have a plan, then we get out there and everybody starts changing their plan. It's like, no.
Hold on. Let me give some context here. She said, oh shit, you were talking about me. Yes. Paul had one of his subscribers show up in the chat and said she comments on everything. And I said, oh yeah, that's our Jay Whackers. So that was the context in which you came up. And then literally less than 2 minutes later, as you can see by the comments, you popped into the chat. So it was prophetic, and I knew what I was talking about.
And Frank Folder.
Nostra Joelus. What?
I'm sure I call you Frankie Folder. Frank, same thing. Frank always, every time I put out a video, eventually they comment. And that just goes a long way. Really, it kind of makes me feel like, you're along for the ride. And that's cool. I really dig that. It's fun.
If there was ever anybody going, you know what, I've been watching your channel for a long time, would you post a new vlog or something? I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? But like, it doesn't feel like anybody misses it. in terms of nobody's going, oh God, there's this void created by the lack of your day-to-day bullshit. I'm fine with that. But like I said, it frees me up to do lost to time stuff or other random comedy things. Like I would really like to get back to doing that at some point. Like I think, imagine if I could do Blinkered now. Like if I could have done what we did for Blinkered all those years ago, but do it now.
And
with
when you say
people
Blinkered,
that we know now, like oh,
right.
You're not aware of my show, Blinkered?
Well, I know Blinkered. I mean, but if people watching it says, "Hey, what is he even talking about?" I mean,
Blinkered was our shit version of The Office, where we tried to do our own. Like, I happen to have an office that we can film in, and we did probably 25 episodes, and like proper episodes. I mean, it's not like we knew what we were doing writing wise or anything like that, but we were mainly just improving.
just
and
having
like
fun, man.
I assure you it would be better if we did it now. It would be fun to do now because I feel like I wouldn't have to be on camera as much. I feel like, I was kind of an idiot asshole on there. And like my buddy Josh Linus Knight on Facebook or wherever
that
anymore.
That guy's funny, man.
He was one of the main characters. He was a character named Brian Holtman, and we all called him Jim. Like for no apparent reason. And we had gone to school together and all this shit. And then we all end up working together, and Big Al works there. And I mean, there was just a couple of our friends that we had come in and do different parts, and like it was ridiculous and it was very self-contained. But like there was an episode with a hostage situation, like just all kinds of random shit. I'm pretty sure we murdered somebody at some point. Like, I'm not saying it's worth watching. I'm just saying,
right.
Like, it's the kind of stuff that I enjoy doing. Like, if we could go there now, which yes, it is still on YouTube. I'll post a link in the chat. It's, like I said, this was 2012 was like when we last filmed. Or 2014, I can't remember, but like it was a long time ago. Yeah.
Who came up with the name
That's
Blinkers?
all I got on that. Blinkered? Because what the hell is going on here? Sorry about that. I had the Big Man Show thing queued up. I'm going to look up the definition of blinkered and tell you why. Having or showing a limited outlook. That was the basic initial premise for the show, was like, there's going to be all these people in there, and there's going to be all these people that work in the office, but they all sort of just have their own opinion and aren't bothered with the other people. Like Josh is going to be kind of the everyman. Yeah, like I said, it was just kind of a rip off of The Office, but a way to play around and kind of dip our toes in the creative realm. And some of it is awful. And some of it is like crude, and some of it is, but like not even like in a really good way. Like I if I could recut it now, I probably would take out some of it.
What about that? Who's that episode with the flying saucer where you were interviewing those guys with the flying saucer thing, the alien, the UFO investigators? Those two guys, was that Linus?
Wait. Oh yeah, that was gosh, what does he call it?
That was funny.
Man.
You ought to give them a link. Put a link to that. You ought to put a link to it, because I'm telling you, that was funny. Don T was killing them, man. You took over the show on them, man. And I watched that twice, man. That was pretty funny.
Oh, that was called Visitors. Yeah, I'm still trying to copy this blinkered link here. Not that that's that important. Here you go. Here's the blinkered playlist, all 20 something episodes. And then what were we looking for after that? Okay, so what does he call it? Oh man, I feel really bad that I can't remember his.
That dude's funny, man. I like the part when you went like just a cigarette and you're talking to him, he's smoking.
Okay, it is youtube.com/Linus Knight, and it is a Linus adventure. That's what he calls it. Okay, thank you, Riv. I'm getting deliveries during the podcast here. Yeah, everybody go to this other channel and subscribe if you want to see me acting. Like I say it's acting. It was just me making stuff up at the time of it. Like I had no, you know what? I had lines. I had some basic lines there, but it's called Visitors. Check that one out. I'll link that one specifically.
That's funny. I recommend that one. That one I got a kick out of it. Joel stole the whole show. I mean, sorry, man, but it's the whole thing's great. But you interviewing those guys and the way they're showing you that different aliens, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Dying, man. What did you say? Didn't they find one of the pictures? Like it was river. Somebody drew it. They just found it. You found it laying around the house, and you turned it into like an alien species or something. You were talking about
yeah. He was going through. I grabbed a stack of Sawyer's drawings.
Oh, Sawyer!
And like some of the stuff he draws. Hold on.
Right. I was cracking up.
Sawyer. I'm gonna have him bring some of his drawings in here because they're like terrifying and like terrifyingly good for somebody his age. Sawyer,
I'd like to be on an episode of that, man. We should bring those out and talk about it.
What a podcast, huh? I'm just knocking on the wall, being like, "Get in here."
That's how we roll, man. We're not. I gotta get me a system like that. Is it Sawyer?
Just knock on the wall.
Put an intercom up there, Sawyer. Yeah, but I think it would be hilarious if you just got a bunch of pictures and did a show where come up with different characters, different species.
Oh, I don't know if I would necessarily like. Okay, fine. I feel weird about doing it this way, recommending my own stuff. So, like, I would never do that, Jay Whackers. However, I guess you can consider these recommendations.
However,
like if you want to, you know what? Fine, I'll throw the other stupidest thing I've ever done on here in a playlist. Let me go back one playlist here. Where is it at? This stuff is so dumb, but it was me and Josh, and I mean this is 2008 through 2012 ish, and I mean it was us with British accents and bad green screen, and like I don't think it ever really found its way. Like I think there's little bits and pieces that aren't bad, but yeah. Well, so Lena was texting me that she was bored, so I told her to put on a shirt and come be in the podcast. Sit down, Muscles. Like
where am I supposed to sit down?
There's a chair right behind you. Lena just has taken to working out and has turned into a human refrigerator. That's great for audio. Yeah, just drag that
Lena's
around.
always been badass, though. I watched her play baseball. I remember when she said, "Crack them out and knock them out."
You're welcome. You're welcome to watch. You're welcome to watch Butties, and that's how it's pronounced, Butties, like British buddies, Butties. But it's bad. So watch with caution. I mean, it was fun and stupid, but it's not. So what's going on with you? This is like, I'm very lazy. Oh, you found this through Chronologically Lost podcast. Okay, interesting. I'm always curious how people end up on here.
How can you read that from this far away?
Because I have super glasses. What? This is an episode of the Joel Henderson Show. I haven't done this in years, and I figure this is easier than vlogging. So, tell me stuff. What's going on in your life since the last episode of the vlog? Fill everybody in on everything that's been missing in your life since I've not been vlogging so steadily.
I don't even know when you stopped vlogging necessarily.
Does it appear like I have?
No.
See, I told everybody I still vlog.
Lost fan. It's a huge Lost.
Oh
fan.
Yes, I will forever be able to geek out about Lost. This to nerd about it with. My daughter here, if we could shame her into just eventually watching Lost, she loves all these other shows that I love, but she will not watch Lost out of spite because I love it. Like, that sucks. It's such a good show. It's like the best of shows. And Paul hasn't even watched it.
I
Look at him
watched
sitting there with his arms crossed. Like,
I watched some of it and I just didn't finish watching it. We bought the whole thing at a pawn shop. I bought the whole series.
did you really?
Yeah. Remember I told you I watched up to,
There was a long pause when I said really there.
yeah, I got the whole thing.
Oh,
I just
yeah. Watch it. If you've not seen Lost, that's my number one recommendation in this. It's the best show ever. And yes, Jay Wacker says she got her 14-year-old son to watch it with her, and he loved it.
Okay, he tried getting me to watch it when I was like 8.
Nope,
Not
6.
even.
She was 6. There are episodes on my YouTube channel. Look for the playlist, Lena Explains Lost. She's 6 years old, and I had her watch a couple episodes of Lost, and she explained like the first 7 episodes. It's a joy. And like, I wish we had done more of them in retrospect, because she's so like adorable and innocent. And oh, the good old days.
do you miss
Light behind me. It's like
It's a hair light.
it's making me look
Angelina?
bald.
Do you miss your dad vlogging you? Do you miss your dad when I remember certain times he'd vlog you and you're like, Dad, stop. Or, did you have fun with it? Are you glad he did it?
I mean, he still does it, so it's not like
Well,
he
but
stopped.
he's asking if you're glad in retrospect. Like, would you rather I not have done it, or would you? Do you like that it's done?
I mean,
Are you?
it's great for me to go back and like, hey guys, look at this softball video really quick, and I can show them my softball games because they didn't get to make it. So I can just go to your channel and show them the video. That's
Okay.
like the main thing.
She uses it so she can show off bits and pieces of her own life. I don't think she cares about it as a whole. Like, I don't think she'll watch the episodes as a whole. I watch her watching them, and she'll skim through anytime there's music, and I'm just like, you suck. This is setting the mood. Like, you got to just like let it ride. It's a show. But
I
she
think that
uses
she's
it
gonna
for
get
her
more.
own personal documentary. But
Right,
I don't
right.
think she. Yeah.
I think
But
the
do you
older she
feel
gets,
in any way? My worry with it is that I felt like at some point, sometime post-divorce, it changed in my head where it felt like I didn't want you guys to think that I was using you guys for content, because it was never about that. And I hope you guys don't feel that way about it.
Where did you even hear that from?
My own head.
Why?
I don't know. It's just how I felt about it. I thought at some point, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm exploiting Lena's ASMRing. And then she just...
See, that's what you get. See, she's trying to be sassy with bloop around her mouth.
I mean, like I said, I wish I had the time to be vlogging daily. I wish that any of the kids had picked up on it enough that they like kind of jumped in and helped out with it. That would have been
Maybe
a
they
joy.
will. Maybe they will. Maybe she'll be
Someday.
vlogging you
Man,
one day. I'm just saying, like, when you get older, let's say, well, and she just turned 18, right? 18. Let's say you're in your mid-20s. Maybe you get married, maybe you don't, whatever. But you're in your mid-20s, and you look back at that. You're gonna enjoy looking at that stuff.
if I had the ability that she does now, like to have cell phones, I wouldn't be using Snapchat. I would be documenting my life because the ability is there. I didn't have that when I was a teenager. And
Okay, but you say that now, but I guarantee if that was true and you had Snapchat then, you would 100% use Snapchat.
I'm not saying I
hands
wouldn't
down.
use it, but I'm saying that I would also document my life properly.
Your dad
Instead of it all being vertical, I would have filmed it right. Like I would have,
your dad
if I had a
figures
video
TikTok.
camera when I was in school, it would have been a handy cam.
You were talking over him.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
No,
Go ahead.
I said your dad thinks that TikTok and all that stuff is for people who don't know how to make videos. That's his stance on it. All the kids are into TikTok.
Musically.
I liked it when it was Musically. That TikTok used to be an app called Musically where they would just like dance along and mime lyrics on songs.
That's a great example of me documenting stuff and me growing up because
You
go
can
all the way down. It's from like 2016.
See,
right.
I document just different formats.
And I mean, I have home videos. I have home videos all the way back to when you were a baby. Like I just didn't vlog per se then. There's a difference, honestly, between you can throw home movies together but it's not the same as vlogging. Like vlogging requires a narrator in some form, and like I just have.
You burped for me. I was just going to do that. Thank you.
I chose to be the one to narrate our lives. And
I
what?
hate this light so much. It's
Oh
driving
my
me
That's
nuts.
where it's at
What
right
is-
there, guys.
I like the hair light, but fine, we'll take away some of the
Crayon
magic.
pineapple?
Yeah, they have crayon everything. You can get crayon
Berries.
cranberry. Some of them TikToks are funny as heck.
I feel like I'm like blind. I can't read what it's.
You're gonna have to talk nearer the mic. I don't want it to be frustrating. Can you guys hear everybody, or is it
I'm loud.
okay? I'm just making sure. You can hear her though, Paul. It's not a problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you're not
Just
talking
checking.
over like he does
I haven't
me.
done one of these in forever. I don't know the technical side. I used to be like super like anal about making sure everything was technically perfect on these podcasts. So
We know. I know.
There was one
You waste too
time I
much
was
time on
watching-
that.
go on. There was one time
There
what?
was one time you were podcasting, and I remember I was watching it at Mom's house, and she could hear it, and she would text me like, "Really?" But then later, I forgot who you were with. I know you were with Uncle Jeremy and someone else,
Dre.
but like I could barely hear him.
Right.
I could hear you and Uncle Jeremy perfectly, so I'm sitting there like, we can barely hear him, and I don't even know who he is.
Yeah. That's so funny that somebody asked what's the sugar like in that. It's 20. He said it was 24 grams of sugar. Like it's too much, and he shouldn't be drinking it.
There you go.
I
have
know,
a treat every once in a while.
Paul, have we ever discussed publicly what happened around Christmas time?
No.
Is that fair game or not? I'm cool
I
with
don't
not
care.
if you don't want to.
Sure. I don't care. It's not a big secret to
So when would you say that occurred? Like when did you start losing weight?
me. Maybe October before Christmas.
Okay.
I just had to pee
And
all
then
the time.
when did I when did I come over? When was that I finally came by? Was that the day after Christmas or something?
Yeah. It was right.
Okay,
right
so
after that.
we hadn't talked a whole lot for whatever reason. We hadn't FaceTime. Normally, Paul FaceTimes me shirtless at least twice a week, and I hadn't gotten that for a while. So I called him, and he looked like a skeleton wearing Paul's skin loosely, like hanging on him. And I'm like, what is going on, man? He's like, oh, I lost 30 pounds. I'm like, I know this game. Have you been drinking a lot of, are you thirsty all the time? Well, yeah. Have you been waking up? Do you pee a lot? Have you been waking up during the night to pee every night? Well, yeah.
I love how you impersonate my voice. That's how I sound. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll be by tomorrow. I'm coming by. You probably have diabetes. Like, so I came by the next day and tested his blood sugar, and it was 500. And oh, your blood sugar is supposed to be between 90 and 120.
It was
So
500.
Paul was going in for no, it was 500 when I tested it first. 500. Now Paul's going in for major surgery the next day. We won't go into that, but so he was adamant that he was not going to go to the hospital today. You know, the day before said surgery with the diabetes thing. So I'm like, okay, well, fine. I have to give you an insulin shot. Your sugar's crazy out of control. It might be reckless or illegal or whatever, but I gave him an insulin shot. I think I gave you 20 units of insulin. Like that's a lot, but I think I gave you 10. Something, it was right in the middle there, 10, 15. Then we waited what, an hour? We went and bought you a testing kit at Walgreens, and then we came back and we tested your sugar and it was 525. And I'm like, sorry, are you immune to insulin? And then you're like, oh man. I was like, well, here's the deal. Until you go see a doctor, carbs are out. So enjoy your last little glass of milk with Ovaltine in it. So he made up a glass of milk and Ovaltine and drank it. And then we waited another half hour and I tested his sugar and it was 596. And I'm like, okay, this is getting out of control. So I gave him another shot, and I couldn't stay any longer, so I left. And an hour later, he texted me and said it was 3:30. So it finally started coming down. And now, what would you say your sugar is regularly now, Paul?
The other night I tested. It was like 127.
Oh, that's ideal. So I've never seen somebody take to diabetes so easily. He immediately adapted to the eating and the checking the sugar and the just not ingesting. I mean, you should have seen the shut-in style end of the world prepper reserves he had of sugar beverage in his garage. It
When
was
the garage got a
ungodly.
big
He had
shelf.
he had
I didn't know
cases
Gatorade had
on a
all that.
shelf. But it was dedicated. It was a dedicated shelf to stockpile sugary beverages to shoot his sugar into the stratosphere.
I
And
did not know
ridiculous.
that Gatorade had all that sugar in it. I never realized Gatorade and Body Armor and what else? I love V8s. I was drinking that kind of stuff because it was hot and I work in a factory and I sweat a lot. So I figured by drinking Gatorade, it was replenishing my electrolytes. And come to find out, when I finally looked at the Gatorade, it had all that sugar in it. So I still drink it, but I drink zero. My whole life is zero sugar. I don't have sugar in my coffee. I got keto bread, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I just quit eating all that
Okay,
kind of
say
stuff.
bye to the podcast. Lena's leaving the podcast right
It's
now.
nice seeing you, Angelina.
River.
Nice seeing you too.
Maybe she'll check in when we do these in the future.
Let me do the voice like your dad does.
Yeah.
Ready? Hey, it was cool seeing you, Lena. See you later. This is how Paul talks.
I mean, yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
her face. What?
See? See?
Do your impersonation of my voice. Go
See?
ahead.
Yeah.
Makes me sound like Rocky's.
See?
Hey, yo. Thanks a lot.
Hey, yo. Adrian. Okay, get out of here.
That's messed up. Yeah, it's funny
Stop
to see.
dragging the.
It's funny to see the kid now, man. She's grown up, man. And I was watching when I first started watching her stuff. She's like, 12 years old, something like that. 12, 13.
Let's see, 2015. How old were you in 2015?
Dad, we are
11?
22 minus 7 years.
Yeah, 11.
Why are you asking me though?
I thought you would know because it's you. I know how old I was in 2011, but I don't necessarily offhand know how old you were. Takes me a second. I can do some math. Jesus.
Jeez.
Okay. Charlie, I said, want to come on our live stream? He said, I'm in bed now.
Yeah. I think we all start doing these more often. And, I've been promising everybody.
I like the looseness of it. I like the free form looseness of it. I don't want it to be anything where it's got to be something. It never was on the podcast before, and I want to get back to doing the podcast because I feel somewhat stifled by not being able to do the vlog as much. So I still need that outlet. I still have shit to say, but I don't want to do all the work.
Well, since you have the next one, I'll do live stream and you come on there and be my guest. How's that? Then I can
no, it's fine.
We'll just do it like we used to do it every once in a while. I mean, when we get time, sometimes just don't have the time,
I think what we should do is on the Sundays when I don't have the kids, we should go exploring, and on the Sundays when I do have the kids, we should do a live stream where all of us get into a big group chat.
All right with that.
I still think it'd be cool to sit there and do some editing together one day. Just sit near each other editing. Come, oh, check this out, man.
You
messing
drive
around
me
with
crazy with my style. I feel like I can chat a little bit more here and watch your podcast. I always feel like I'm interrupting more. That's one thing I don't like.
But you know what it is? It's not that you're interrupting. It's that there's a delay. So sometimes, on here, your comment is general, and we can just jump right to it whenever. But like sometimes on the podcast, I think it's just the nature of it. We'll have moved on to whatever the next thing is,
Right.
because sometimes we just tangent within seconds. So like the comments just end up coming through a little late, and then when Dre interrupts one of us talking to read a comment that's about something we were talking about 3 minutes ago, I think that's why it lends itself to not be quite as interactive and as fluid. I would love to get it to a point where we went to the comments, like people were just kind of leaving their comments throughout, and then at the end, when we're done with all of our thoughts, we would go to the comments and read through them and have more of an interactive portion then, rather than all the way through. But that's just me trying to micromanage the show. And I gotta be honest, it's different having Dre on there, because I didn't know him prior to doing the podcast. So like Jeremy and I had built a rapport over many, many years of doing How to Watch TV. And obviously that name's meant in jest. We're not some experts on TV, but we really like TV. And I feel like, having watched stuff like Lost, I'm qualified to nitpick a show apart to the point where hopefully we come across some stuff that maybe other people hadn't thought of, or they might find interesting, etc. So it's obviously a tongue-in-cheek name, but it was just a cool name that like we okay, cool, we can do a podcast called How to Watch TV, done.
Right.
But I don't feel like we've quite hit the stride of that show. I wish there was a more fluid nature in it, where they're like either where there were segments, or where there was a little more audience participation, whether people called and left voicemails about like predictions for what was going to happen on the next episode of a show, or like, I'm genuinely open to suggestions, but it's all extra work. And I really want these things to be like one and done for me. When I used to do these before, and there are like years, Jaywhackers, there are years of old How to Watch TV podcasts for other shows. Just look on the YouTube channel in the different playlists. They are for each show. But I used to film those with an iPhone on a tripod and then record the audio, and then I would edit them together. And like, it took forever. Then I'd have to upload it. I wanted it to get to a point where it kind of is now, where I can switch camera angles, the audio all sounds good, and it's live. And when I'm done, all I got to do is upload the audio for the audio podcast version, like on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or that kind of thing. I have to upload that somewhere the next day, but like the video portion is done, and I walk away from it and it's completed. Like, I love that aspect of it. So the more stuff I can do like this,
it's two different things. You know, going out and doing videos, because we can sit there and edit. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just don't want more work. That was my point. I don't want more things to edit. We film enough cool shit that's worth the time to edit, like Lost to Time stuff. Whereas I don't want to be wasting my time editing the podcast.
Well, you know, there's it's rough. It's live streams are touchy. Live streams are funny thing, because you're flying by the seat of your pants. You don't know. Nobody's gonna say what they're gonna ask. And like Jaywhacker said, you know, sometimes Scott on Tape, you know, our guy Scott on Tape from Canada. Yeah. I go in and watch him, and I don't know how
now resides in Florida.
He chases the whole time, but he's an awesome dude, and he's trying to answer so many things at once. But a lot of people, he knows how to handle it a little bit better. But to see all that text flying by, I feel like people think you're ignoring them because you can't get to all that. You know, the live streams are tricky because a lot of stuff flies by you and you're not paying attention. Like you said, especially if I'm in the middle of talking about something, and I look over and somebody's asking me something, it kind of throws my mindset off of what I was talking about. And it's
right.
tricky,
that's why I maintain there needs to be a time and a place when, like, there should be somebody that's monitoring the chat. Like, there should be one person that's monitoring the chat that can tell when there's a lull coming up, or like happening in talking where we don't really have a new topic yet, or we're ending a topic. And then they're like, oh, looking over in the chat, I see Jaywhacker's name is actually Jesse, and Lena wants to join the podcast, but I don't know that she has. What does she have to do? Do you have to have StreamYard in order to join this? Yes, a specific time for audience participation. I would love to get to a specific time for the podcasts, for How to Watch TV and for Joel Henderson Show, to where you knew, like we did this last week's earlier in the day because it was more convenient for Jeremy and Dre and I. But Jesse there missed the live chat because we recorded it earlier, and it wasn't when we normally do, which is usually Wednesday evenings. So like I'd love to be on an actual schedule where we go live at this time, boom, every time, and I go live for like this kind of a show at this time, boom, every week or once every 2 weeks or however often. I love the idea of having a schedule and keeping to it so that people could make a habit of tuning in and being part of it. I mean, I don't know what I bring to the table where we're just talking. Like I when I look at it objectively, I'm like, why would anybody come here and just listen to us talk? But
why not?
Whatever.
It's like sitting down having a conversation. I don't like it, anybody who watches, there's one thing I'm very positive about saying what I do, and if you look at my videos, I don't do overlays on my thumbnails. I don't do a lot of editing. I don't do a lot of stuff.
I don't either. I don't like clickbaity stuff. I don't like overhyping.
Well, I want them to experience what I'm experiencing. I'm trying to make it seem like you're there with me, or I'm showing you around. Basically, that's kind of what I go for.
Right.
So it's like when I catch myself all the time. Hey, I'm still City Storm. What's happening out there? Let's go check this. It's like you're right there with me. I really don't care if what I do reaches 10 people that really care about what I do, opposed to 100 that are just watching just for whatever. That's okay, but
if anybody in the chat, hold on one second, Paul. People are about to leave the chat. If anybody likes this, I don't say this, but that thing you can do so that you get notified if I like, if you like my content. Anyways, continue.
Now I'm reading it. River did post it already. I'm already seeing it right now.
River in the other rooms. Did he post it already? How are we seeing this right now? Can he hear us?
Got a crash, dogs on it for like glad. Caught this glad have fun. I'll be watching for a new video storm. Catch you next time, Joe dude. Thank you, Frank, very much. And I'm gonna be getting off here in a minute too. I'm getting heavy eyed, but I really appreciate you coming around and always being there. And don't think I don't recognize that. And I appreciate you very much. And Jesse, it's nice meeting you. Glad got to see Angela and got to see River. Got to see both the girls. The only one
you
didn't show
appreciate me?
Huh?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Why did Sawyer never?
Sawyer. The only one that didn't come on the podcast.
I know. I need all of them. I need all of them here. If Michelle was here, she'd be on the podcast, but she's at a bachelorette party for 2 days. Hold on. Keep this thing going for a second, Paul. I'm going to go drag Sawyer.
Keep this. Oh boy. So he runs off and he said, keep this thing going for a second. It's nice to meet you too, Jesse. I don't know if you know the channel or not, but you're more than welcome to come check it out. Still see Storm channel. I don't know if you know about it, but yeah, we've had a lot of fun. Been doing it for 5 years. March the 3rd was like the 5-year anniversary.
Turns out Sawyer fell asleep. He was asleep. He doesn't have electronics at the moment. So,
right.
He just decided to go to bed rather than suffer through life without electronics.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, brother.
So, I don't really have anything else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I needed to vent about in the meantime. Not really.
And whoever watches this later down the line, we basically just got together tonight. It was talking on the phone. I was like, let's just throw up a live stream, just sit around, just talk about nothing, and just see what happens. It's been a while, so.
Oh, Lena's trying to join here, so you may have an out here, Paul, where I can get Lena to come in, but
you could have to bring her in.
I can just slot her in there, but she's saying that it's taking forever to join. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, thank you, Kay. Appreciate that. Wow. Lena didn't look like she's even interested. Now she could come in and join you, huh?
That's I know. Cool. Now she wants to be on because she wants to show videos of. She did this thing musically from. This is Lena in 2016 with River.
Oh,
Lena's trying to get through ads to get to it. I don't know what she's on here. Why does it say DoorDash? Yeah, why are there so many
oh my
ads?
God.
Not a clue, Lena. I really don't know.
I
This is
appreciate that, Kate.
This is a shit show in progress. It's never going to be professional in any way, and it's always going to be a shambles. So, thanks for joining us, Paul. This is not me bailing quite yet. I was giving Lena like another minute to try to figure this out.
I feel bad,
But-
brother. I don't want to bail on you, but my eyes are so heavy. Can you see it? I'm getting heavier and heavier. I took that hot bath, man, like 3 hours ago. I was like, oh.
You know, Lena
So-
said Sawyer just walked past her wrapped in a towel.
Do what?
So yeah, let's see. So you're right, Paul. I can't believe I've kept you out this late. I call him at 8:30, and the next day he texts me at like 10 a.m. and is like, "Oh, sorry, brother, I passed out early last night. Oh, it was a rare one." And I'm like, Paul, you say that every night.
I'm usually crashed by that time. Diane's been sleeping since 8:30. I'm a factory worker. I gotta get up at 5:30 in the morning. Bust my ass all day. I'm on my feet, and it's been a busy week, man. And I just go home when I get those shoes off, and I'm sitting around in my boxers. It's over with, man. Especially after a
Hey,
shower.
where are we going on Sunday? We're exploring this Sunday. So
Oh yeah,
you notice it's not a question.
we are heading to Tolleson area.
Are we going to that apartment complex thing?
That's one of them. I think we
It's
ought to
gonna-
go back.
Yeah, I also do have one thing we need to check out. We found this
Alright.
Gary magazine at that place at the estate sale over the weekend,
Yeah,
and I found what looks to be an old school that is no
You told me
longer
about that.
there, but the track is still there. So I'm curious where it's at and why we've never been near
I
there.
think I know what
So
you're talking about. I'm not positive.
check out Lost to Time. Hashtag Lost to Time, TO time. It's all one word if you put it in YouTube, and you'll find the videos. Paul is the Steel City Storm. He has a crap load of videos. Check those out, exploring in and around Gary and Northwest Indiana. If you're on Facebook, Exploring Northwest Indiana group, the Lost to Time group, Comeuppance Network page. I'm at Comeuppance on everything, COMEUPPENCE. Had to add the extra E for entertainment. I just made that up. And in the meantime, I'm Joel Henderson, and don't have a.
And I'm Steel City Storm. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us, Jesse and Frank. Appreciate you. And Kate.
I've known you very well. I've seen you growing every day. I never really looked before, but now you take my breath away. Suddenly you're in my life, part of everything. I know
Yes,
you got me worse. Lena says she has this almost sorted out, but I don't believe her. What do you mean? Don't do my outro? Get it together.
On that note, I'm
Try
out
the outro here. Don't ever.
Later, brother.
And see you later.
All right. Bye, y'all. Good night.
See you later. I think I already did my outro. Paul's gone. Lena's not here yet. I'll hang out for another couple seconds, but I don't. Now I feel all weird because I don't have anybody to talk to. Yeah. See you later.